Hell of a thing. A woman chases a black man and falsely accusing him of having, well, a gun, which can get you killed. Here it is.
What are you doing in this neighborhood?
What are you talking about?
What?
What are you talking about? What am I doing?
Are you videoing? We should do that. Come here.
I'm good.
No, where's that gun that you've been pointing at people?
What?
That gun?
What gun?
Pointing at people?
What gun?
The one in your waistband, bro.
What waistband?
I'm not playing with you.
I don't have no gun.
No. You need to stop.
What are you talking about?
You've been with people in our block, and I'm not okay with that.
Who? Who?
Don't worry about who.
What
You
are you?
been showing your waistband and that gun?
I don't have a gun.
Today?
I don't ever have a gun.
Why you with people in my block?
What are you talking about?
Don't play with me.
I'm not playing with you.
I'm not playing with you.
Hey.
Come here.
Stop.
Come here.
Just stop.
Did you stop some people in the crosswalk?
When?
It doesn't matter when.
Just stop.
A mother and a daughter? And you showed them your waistband?
What are you
No,
talking
sir.
about?
No, sir, we don't do that here.
Just leave me alone.
No, stop your ass.
Just leave me alone.
You want to with people on my block? I got you, bro.
I didn't do
I
nothing.
got you.
Just stop.
No.
Just back off. Just back off. Just back off.
There's kids around.
Just back off.
There you go.
Back off.
There you go, because he has you.
What?
He has you on video in our neighborhood.
There's only one terrified human being in that video, and it is the person who is recording. Put it up full mass. We have a little bit of background to provide. Obviously, the woman pictured is not afraid of the alleged individual with the gun. According to Atlanta Black Star, a case of mistaken identity turned into a very scary situation for one black man enjoying the great outdoors. In a concerning video posted on TikTok, this happened September 29th, the post did. An aggressive, middle-aged white woman followed a young Virginia man down a pathway in a quiet, wooded area of a public park. She proceeded to harass him and spew wild accusations while appearing disoriented. As he walked backward for yards down the isolated pathway, the baseless accusations flew. She claimed he was armed and dangerous, that he had pulled guns on multiple people, and talked in an, quote, out the mouth kind of way, end quote. His calm protesting did not deter the woman, who appeared more aggressive with each step. Now, in this moment of that interaction, this has become a life or death situation. And that's because if somebody would have overheard her saying these things and believed her narrative, they could have intervened in a way that was biased against him. Also, if a police officer would have been called, multiple cops responded, black male, wooded area, white woman making a complaint, he's armed and dangerous, pointing the gun at multiple individuals, how do you think that potentially ends? There's more. When they finally reached a clearing where a kid's baseball game was in progress, the woman's tone suddenly changed. Quote, "We should probably call the police," she said relatively calmly, despite the man calling out for help, stating she was racially discriminating against me. Quote, "No one came," end quote, "no one came to his defense," and the woman's relentless harassment continued, saying things like, quote, "I got you, bro," end quote. He has you on video in our neighborhood," she said, referring to a bystander who was close by. Quote, "For all the people saying I should have did some, I'm 6'3", 190, in an entirely white neighborhood. I would have been the aggressor. Things might have been worse for me." He wrote in the comments of the video. When the commenters clamored for a follow-up, the man who goes by Bleeds999 on social media said he found her husband and challenged him to a fight. Quote, well, I wasn't going to do nothing to her because she was a woman. But I asked the man if he wanted to fight. He said, no. She felt embarrassed and left. I'll put the picture back up again. Okay. All right, ma'am. I don't know if this is a case of mistaken identity or just plain out racism. But if you spew an accusation that a human being, especially a black male, is around white children and members of a neighborhood community and that somehow he is armed and dangerous, understand you are putting a potential death sentence on that human being. So this is why it's a big deal to us. So you may say, well, it was just a mistake. I mean, I made a mistake in my life. It has nothing to do with racism. Whatever your reason may be, understand what you have factually done and understand this person had to endure your actions and the results of them. All right, Senator, we've seen this before where a person may have alleged another individual was dangerous and armed, et cetera, none of this being true, but it did not stop other people from believing that narrative, and the worst absolute imaginable thing happened to the victim in that situation. What say you?
Agreed, Doc, because the default setting in the United States of America, and this is not an indictment of all white people or even other people who are of color, because people carry implicit and explicit biases that have been drilled into them, and they could subconsciously think a certain way and feel a certain way because they've been constructed to do so. So there's a default setting going on here, Doc, with this white woman. And again, I want to say anybody could have that default setting if you were socialized in the United States of America in particular. If you are black, and especially if you are a black man, you are always, almost always, like 99% of the time, you are dangerous by default. Again, socialized in the United States of America. If you are armed, that makes it even more so. And if there is a white woman making the accusation, baby, and we got the history to back this up, Doc, and we ain't got to go way back. We can go 3 days back, So all of these things have to be taken in consideration, and people should not be using law enforcement as a blunt force object against black people, particularly black men. You laid out public park, so he had every right to be there unless she thought she was in the 1800s. So maybe she forgot about what time period she was in, but there was a time where black people had to prove that they were allowed to be in certain spaces. And I ain't even talking about Jim Crow. I mean, just because the laws de facto or de jure weren't on the books does not mean that people were not comporting themselves as black people, always having to prove that we belong in a space. Armed and dangerous. Your point, Doc. If she was afraid, she wouldn't have been following this man around. See, maybe there's some cultural differences, but in the black community, if we think somebody is armed and dangerous, we definitely are not following you around. We're going to call for some backup. Okay. Right. So maybe they don't roll like that. And then what are you doing here? Again, this whole notion of white skin privilege, you belong, he does not belong. And then she called him bro. She probably would have not called a white man bro. And I think what she does not understand, but the term bro or brother is a term of endearment in the black cultural vernacular and the way we approach and love on one another. He used it as a derogatory. I want to recommend a book, Doc, for the folks, and it's called How to Be Less Stupid About Race by Dr. Crystal Fleming. Now, I'm not saying a book can solve all our ills, Doc, but I just want to start to point people in the right direction when it comes to this. I was afraid for that man, just even, I was very afraid for him. And your exclamation point on this is she could have got that man killed, or in our vernacular, she could have got that brother, and I mean that in love, killed.
Yeah. And great recommendation for a book. Let me say that. I encourage it. And also keep in mind, this person was coming out of a wooded, isolated area where anyone who heard a woman screaming or saying this man is doing something and is violent, you instinctively want to believe that a person would not self-victimize in a way to create a victim out of somebody who's innocent. And so that's the reason that many bystanders would have an instinctive impression. And that's what makes it dangerous in the first place.